man, that was kind of crazy. Pretty fun, but that was pressing. That we needed to double our efforts there. Okay, what do we have here then? We're going for ground zero. We're thinking about the cube boss. We're thinking about the weird void cloud thing. I know each of them have a lot of health and require quite a bit of shielding to get through. So let's. Every 3 turns, apply 2 light shield to all targets. That is pretty great. Every 20 times you deal purification, double it. Also good, but maybe not quite that good. Sentinels have a chance of triggering Sands of Time using the same stats as mine, with an additional chance of triggering it without decreasing my Sands of Time buff. And at the start of battle, gain 10 Sands of Time. Yeah, let's go for that. I've had that before in the past, and it's quite nice, so we'll take that. Okay, so what kind of build do we want to start here? Right off the bat, this is a soul heat die, so maybe some kind of soul heat thing. Draw risky die is kind of interesting. If we had that in the last run, it could have helped us a little bit, maybe. I know affliction dice, tend to be risky, so if we want to start an affliction or relief build, maybe we can use this. Kind of scared of that now, though, to be honest with you. So let's just go ahead and go for the soul heat. Take it a bit easy for the next hour. And again, let's go for Forge Purify. Kind of proud of myself for realizing I can copy those to get rid of a lot of corrupt actions at once. Alright. Alright, let's take it easy. We know how to play Sothis. We know how to build up Soul Heat. We know how to use our Sentinels when we have them. Take it a bit easy. Let's get this done, so we can move on to Anomaly level 9 and 10 and get those done ASAP. Got a couple of Hourglass Masteries, but I do need to heal, so maybe let's use one on Relief and one on Glass Daggers, so we can build up Soul Heat. Seems like a good idea to me. That should heal us up to 4. We should be safe from that die, so okay. Alright. I think I'm starting to overthink these turns now, coming off that last run. But we're looking okay here. Soul Heat's going to cancel out the Shadow Mantle. We're going to take another 5 damage here, it looks like. So we got to heal a little bit. This should do it, and this should do it as well. That should bring us up to 6, so we'll be down to 1 health again, unless we use like one of these virtues. Can I end the fight though? I wonder. Should be able to with Sandstorm. That'll be 3 damage plus 5, so 8 plus another 9, I think. So yeah, that'll do it. Great, great. Bloody Solstice. I remember this being almost useless. I don't think I've ever properly used this in a run. You will deal double purification and apply double buffs for the next turn. But at the start of next enemy's turn, if your soul heat is different from 5, and all enemies are not defeated, lose 1 heart. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know any situation in which we could make this work, really. I don't think double purification and double buffs is quite worth that. Eclipse Blast is probably going to be what we want, but Serenity is going to be great for the bosses. A little unfortunate to have Serenity and Affliction in the same die, when all we want is Serenity. I suppose, if you think about it though, we would be dealing a lot more damage than they would be healing though with this. You know, if you think about it in like a small case scenario, if we have like Glass Daggers or something like that, let's say we have a Glass Daggers 3 action, each of those would do 3 damage, so 9 damage, and then the Affliction would give back 2. So we'd essentially be getting an extra 4 damage for free. Which, I mean, is still nice. It's just maybe a little bit to think about because we have, you know, Affliction 2, we've got Affliction 1, Affliction 3, so on and so forth. So you know what, let's take it, because I think we do get more damage out of it than we get, like, heals on the enemy from Affliction. So that's probably worth it, but a little, you know, risky. Of course, it was a risky die, so that makes sense, but you know what I mean. Minimum Soul Heat 10. Okay, so this will be part of our build, essentially. Minimum Soul Heat 10. Apply 4 Light Shield to all targets. Apply Soul Heat to... or apply 1 Light Shield to all targets. Or apply Reinforced. I'll take... oh yeah, I'll take that. I'm seeming to realize... in this game, you kind of just want to pick up as many dice related to your build as possible, even if they're not immediately useful. You know, the more dice you have, the more you can just kind of toy with the game and just kind of do whatever you want. Because you'll have like, oh, we can build up Soul Heat this way, and then we have this die to play off of that, and then we can build up again because we picked up this die earlier, you know? Kind of just... it just adds up and pays for itself eventually, in most cases. Anyways, we have a Sandstorm here, so we're going to want some Soul Heat for sure. And if we can play this, we would want to play this. So let's go ahead and do that. Even Soul Heat, deal 2 Purification. We don't really need to shield right now, so... go ahead and do that. We need 5 Soul Heat for this, so we can't quite play that right now. Which is okay. 2 reinforced during an early game fight is not the end of the world. Oh, wait, did it boost my... I saw my Soul Heat was 10 for a second. What just happened there? Is that this? Oh, increases my Soul Heat by 5. Oh, I didn't even read that. Alright, cool. And we do have to be careful because, you know, this guy kind of gave us a run for our money last time, but... Cool little feature of that die. I didn't even read that. Alright, get some Serenity, that'd be awesome. We can maybe re-roll that to get a value 2 Serenity. And we do want to get rid of this Reinforce here. So maybe let's use our Virtue for that. We can apply Relief to you, give ourselves some shielding. Use this to get rid of Reinforced. Serenity for some damage, and that should take us just about to the end of the fight. Or at least it'll guide us there, is what I mean to say. It'll guide us towards the end of the fight. I feel like this seems obvious, but I'm still overthinking it. Because we can deal some more damage to you and just speed up the fight. And you're going to deal 6 damage to me, I think. Which, yeah, I guess now that I think about it, would kill me, so do not do that. I don't know why I overthought that so hard, but... figured it out. Again, I feel like this is just obvious, but I don't know. Try not to lose a life, but I feel like I could easily lose a life here. Sneaky, sneaky game mechanics as always, you know? We have a Reforge, which I guess we could use on our Timeless. Because we still do have this other Timeless face, and at the moment we would benefit from the damage, but I think it might not be in our best interest to do that. I think we just go ahead and keep this. Use it for the shields. We need to heal a little bit before we damage this guy anymore. Get some relief on us. Let's use our virtues. Yeah, let's use our virtues. No, wait, let's use glass daggers so I can build up soul heat, then use scorching sands. And I'll just have to be careful about hurting this guy for the rest of the game here. Right. Gotta be careful about that affliction down there. Could throw a wrench into things. Gotta make it out of here without losing a life, though. I kind of want to sacrifice a heart before we get to the boss. We get that extra star blessing. Oh man. What do we do here? What do we do? I think we forge this into a Purify. I see we have another Hourglass Mastery available, so let's use that for relief. We'll put some on myself, we can put some on the enemy. And we should be able to heal. I think I'm going to want to re-roll this. I don't want you to overcorrupt again. Go ahead and reroll that. Let's reroll. Not reroll this. Let's keep those two. Alright, 6 damage is better than an area corrupt, I think. It might come out to about the same damage, but I feel like this is easier to conceptualize. Let's see here, let's see. We gotta get up to full health. That should bring me up to 6, so this should bring me up to 7. And then pretty much safe here. We're gonna be down to 1 heart, or 1 health, sorry. We're gonna be down to 1 health, but that's okay. Oh no, the death bomb! Ah. It always sneaks up on us. There's always something. Something that gets us, man. There's always something. Alright, well. That might cost us our star blessing at the end of this area. I guess we could try to go for one of the challenge battles to maybe make up for it. I have been avoiding them. You know why, but we could try to go for it this time. See how they, see how we feel about them. By 2 relief, gain 1 inner warmth. Your soul heat doesn't reset to 0. Yes, please. I will take that. Once we pick up these sentinels here, or at least one of them, we might want to split our run between soul heat and sands of time, because we do have this star blessing up here. So, you know, the more sands of time that we have and the more hourglass mastery we can get, the better. So soul heat and hourglass mastery or sands of time are going to be what we want. Okay, this is looking pretty familiar here. Let's go ahead and just apply Serenity to you so we can take you out ASAP. Cannot re-roll anything this turn, so let's not worry about it. See, we have a precision die. We might be able to use that. But we do have some rerolls, so might as well just use that. Not worry about the soul heap. Alright, that'll be 4 damage to us. Just 4 damage. We don't have to worry about any debuffs here, not yet at least. We'll have to worry about the death bombs, because now it's on my mind, but everything else should be safe. We want a little bit more health, or at least some shields or something. We have an hourglass mastery, so let's use this to heal ourselves. Use that to do some damage. We can do this to do some damage. More damage there. More there. Seems like we have to play that. Ah, but we can use this. Increase my soul heat by 2, so we can use this. Apply 1 light shield to all targets. Wonderful. Oh, there we go. We haven't seen Sandstorm in quite a bit. Another situation where we could use Forge Purify for some extra damage. Just get rid of Calm. But something tells me, like before, we probably just don't want to do that. Go big greedy, you know? Deal 2 purification to a target. That'll basically take this guy out. If we take this guy out, we won't really have to worry about healing. Seems like these dice aren't much of a problem. You're not going to be getting too much doom without this guy here, so... Yeah, let's go ahead and take you out. Does this deal damage to everything? Deal 3 purifications to a random enemy. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's gonna go off 2 times, and it'll do 3 damage each time. I see. So let's re-roll a couple of these. Let's re-roll these dice up here, so we know what we're dealing with. Five damage. Well, really 2, because this guy's gonna be out of here. So yeah, let's go ahead and use that. Get you out of there. Use Sandstorm, deal some extra damage to you now. And Calm, protect ourselves. Almost called the soul burn for a second. Inner warmth. I've been... I mentioned Meshuggah earlier, the band Meshuggah. I listened to them for the first time, if you can believe it, yesterday. I've been seeing all types of stuff about them on, TikTok. I follow a bunch of music channels. I get a lot of random music stuff on my feed, and one of them was Meshuggah. And if you've never listened to them and you're into metal music, I would recommend them. They're pretty intense, I think. Again, I don't really know their songs, but from what I've heard on TikTok, those little clips, they're pretty intense. So, if you're a little faint of heart or you don't like intense music like that, maybe stay away. But if you're into stuff like that, then definitely check them out. I listened to Soul Burn, which is why I was thinking of Soul Burn. This, I don't know, this art right here just makes me think of Soul Burn. Pretty cool song, though. Pretty cool song. I don't know, I guess I kind of just miss them. I've always been into metal since I was younger. Kind of started when I was, like, really young. Because my family bought a PlayStation 2 like when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and we played a lot of Guitar Hero, or at least I did. I don't know if it was like a family thing. They bought it for the family, or they bought it for me specifically. I can't really remember. But I played a lot of Guitar Hero. I got really good at it, so a lot of those harder songs like Metallica, or it was Guitar Hero 3, so like Iron Maiden was on there. There's a couple other metal songs, Raining Blood, that I took a liking to because they were hard. The harder the song, the better for me. Just, kept me occupied for a while. So I took a liking to metal music pretty early. I started playing Guitar Hero 2, and that was nice. It had like Avenged Sevenfold on there, Buckethead, a couple other standout tracks that you would think I would remember, but I just don't. And I kind of just kept getting more and more of those games as I got older. And it really turned into something, I think, when I played Warriors of Rock. If you remember that game. If you're like my age or maybe a little bit older, you probably know that Warriors of Rock is regarded as like one of the best Guitar Heroes, along with Legends of Rock, aka number 3. So, you know, there's a lot of like Megadeth on there, there was some Dragon Force, there was like a Snot song on there, Flyleaf, AFI, so on and so forth. A lot of alternative rock and metal and stuff like that. So that was really fun. Got me into metal music. And for some reason, I don't know, I just never heard of Meshuggah before, like, maybe a couple years ago. And I just kept seeing them on my feed, and I never checked them out. But now I have, and I think I might want to check out their album, or at least one of their albums. They have a lot of albums. I think their first album came out in like 90-something, like early 90s or mid-90s. So I kind of have a lot to catch up on, to be honest, but they're definitely up my alley. At this point now I've talked about like Animals as Leaders. I'm into them. I'm into Periphery. Pliny, to name a few. Rabea Masad, you know, just to name drop a few artists. Anyways, yeah, go check them out. Go check out those bands if you're into metal and you're not privy to those bands. Hey, here we are. I did decide to go ahead and take the challenge battle because I do want to make up for that heart loss. I want to see if we can get a star blessing without losing another heart here. This crab dude does tend to give us a lot of issues. I think especially with Sothis, because Sothis has chip damage during the beginning of the game, and this guy specifically hard counters chip damage, so we might be here for a while. But we just gotta play a little carefully here. Serenity will definitely help a lot. I'll definitely keep that on. Oh, double Serenity. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, maybe I'm not even worried about it anymore. Cool stuff, cool beans. Oh, you can use Hourglass Mastery too, huh? Interesting. I didn't realize the Sentinels could also use Hourglass Mastery. Good to know, though. I don't want to reroll either of those. A bit useless. We'll keep that for later. On the topic of, Guitar Hero, if anybody's curious, I did move on to Guitar Hero Live when that came out. That was a whole thing, a whole new guitar with 6 buttons instead of 5. It was using music videos and live performances instead of those the animated ones that they usually use. It was kind of revolutionary for the format of Guitar Hero. Well, that was exciting, but again, for anybody that's into Guitar Hero, Clone Hero maybe, y'all know it was kind of a disappointment. You had to use microtransactions a lot. You had to wait to be able to play songs if you wanted to play the ones that you wanted to play. The selection wasn't quite as exciting as something like Legends of Rock. So it was a little disappointing, but to be honest with you, I haven't really gone back to play Guitar Hero Live since around the time it came out. What was it, like 2017, 2016, around then? So I don't know. Maybe if I go back and play it again, I'll find a new appreciation for it. But I just disappointed when I first played it. but now I'm into Clone Hero. I've got a whole bunch of songs on Clone Hero, you know. I play it every once in a while, but for the most part, it's a lot of like complicated chiptune stuff or some like niche metal that's way too complicated and makes a lot of noise in my room. Yeah, I still like Clone Hero though. Fun stuff. That's one of the games I would want to play on stream if I had a say in it, but I know if I play Clone Hero, all my Twitch VODs are gonna get muted. I'm never gonna get any monetization on YouTube from it, so I kind of just stayed away from it. I told myself, you know, it would be fun, maybe later, just to do some Clone Hero streams for fun, you know, for the audience. But as it stands now, I just wouldn't get anything from it. Nobody's watching the streams, and I don't get money on YouTube anyways, so